Well, hello, ladles and jelly spoons. It's Slam Tilt, your host. And today I'm going to show you a video of what Future Pinball is, a quick introduction to Future Pinball, and I'll give you a little bit of insight as well as to who I am and when and how I started to make pinball games. So, let's start at the very beginning, shall we? So first of all, you are going to need an internet connection. And when you have an internet connection, you can look for Future Pinball, and then you click on the Future Pinball link. And this is how I found Future Pinball way back in 2009 when I was bored and twiddling my thumbs. I thought, I want to do something fun. So I searched for digital pinball, and this is the first one that came up, Future Pinball. So I thought, this looks interesting. And then I looked at these videos and I went, wow. In fact, this website is so old now, it's I don't think some of the links actually work anymore. But I went to the screenshots and I was impressed with what I saw here. Wow, you can make your own pinball games. Wow, that's super good, I thought. So I downloaded it, and this is where I downloaded it. This is the very latest version. Now, this was actually created by a guy called Chris Leatherly, or Leatherly, I think his name is. And he's since bailed on Future Pinball. He ran away ages ago. He doesn't support it anymore. But if you want to know who he is, he does have his own YouTube channel. And he seems to be, he seems to like motorcycles, because that's all his channel is. It's about motorbikes. So he's stepped away from Future Pinball long ago, but that's who invented Future Pinball. There he is, right there. And he's only got 79 subscribers, which is very slightly less than mine. Okay, enough of that. So anyway, this is Future Pinball as it was back in the day. And what that does is it opens this little program called Future Pinball, and this is how it opens up. It opens up empty, and then you just create a new table, like this. Now I'm going to show you something horrible, alright? So this is the original Future Pinball, which was released way back in 2007. And it is a horror show. Just watch this. Just watch these physics. Oh my god. Oh my god. So you can see why, way back in the early days, people hated this thing. And this is the physics that everyone was stuck with. The only thing you could do to make this ball speed up was to increase the table angle. I think it's set at 6, so we all had it set up at like 9 and 10 just to make this bastard ball move much faster. But you see that everything about this is horrible. There's actually some improvements. This actually is running on BAM, so you can see the flippers have shadows underneath them. The ball has a shadow underneath it, but in the original version there were no shadows under the ball, there were no shadows under the flippers. Now I can't take any more of that. So we'll get rid of that. Let's bin that crap. Okay, so let's go back to better arcade mode. So if you want to try this for yourself, all you have to do is go to the Rav Arcade website, which is here, and then you just click on this thing here, which is the Future Pinball and BAM 2-in-1 installer. That's all you have to do. So click on that, install it. Once you have it installed, then all you do is you load the demo table that I have created, which you can get in the link below. I put a download link, so it's called Empty Table, and then you play this. So what I've done is I've changed the basics of the game, so it's still a demo. It's still like the very first example of a pinball game. So it gets you started at the very first run of the ladder. But I've changed the reels to gas segments, so you can actually write in your own text. It's got BAM implementation, so it's got the shadows there. It's got the better physics, much better physics. Got better lighting, and I've added a little objective there, which is to hit that top saucer. But you can see how the ball has shadows that track around it as well. So this is how you should really begin your journey making Future Pinball games. And the physics that I have in this game, the physics in this basic table here, are the exact physics that I use in all my games. Even my very latest AC/DC, but they're using Transformers, Iron Man, Batman, Spider-Man, Superman, Blade Runner, you name it. All my games have the exact same physics setup as this demo table has. There you go, I made it. So it's a good way of testing your flipper skills as well. You should be able to do different skills, like you should be able to do a flipper pass or post pass. All these different skills that normal pinball players do. You should be able to do all of that in a pinball simulation, because that's the art of the game, is being able to control the ball. So this game will be available or this demo table will be available in the link below. So if you want to get started with Future Pinball, first of all, install that 2-in-1 installer, which is BAM and Future Pinball, and then simply download this table and play it through the editor. Now when you go into the editor itself, what I do is I move this to one side of the screen, like that, and then I click the script, which brings up the script on this side of the screen. As you can see there, the computer ignores all green notes, it's just for dumb humans. So all the green notes, except for this is the actual physics of the game, which you don't delete that, but everything else just explains what you do in very basic terms. So everything green here is basically giving you instructions on what you're doing. So you just follow the instructions and you should be okay. So I put here, like, okay, now it's up to you, make some magic. So everything that follows this is basically up to you. So the game that you produce is really determined by all the information that you put in these subroutines, and these are subroutines. So it's so simple. I'm not going to get into that, but if you want to just sort of like play around and see how I began and how I started to learn how to make pinball games, this is how I began. And what I did is I started to look at other people's tables. So I would download other authors' tables and I would dissect everything that they did. I would look into everything they did and figure out how they made everything work. And eventually, that's how you learn. Now, it's been a 15-year journey for me, and I've learned so much and developed my own ideas and my own innovations, which have actually changed the way pinball is today by adding all those new innovations that exist in pinball, real pinball machines today. All started here in Future Pinball. And what's really interesting about Future Pinball as well, if you look at the manual, you will see... There you go, Steve Ritchie. So many thanks to and Steve Ritchie for their help in testing and improving Future Pinball. So the almighty Steve Ritchie actually was a consultant in the creation of Future Pinball. Now, Steve Ritchie is the greatest of all time, a legend. So, you know, when you've got that guy's name attached to Future Pinball, you know you've got something great here. Now, the only problem with Future Pinball is it had lousy physics at the very beginning, which killed it before it even had a chance to develop. It attracted a lot of great game developers, a lot of great creators, but the physics killed it. So it died a slow, painful death, and Visual Pinball took over. And to this day, Future Pinball is pretty much stone cold dead. There's only like me and Terry Red and George H. I think that's it, that actually mess with Future Pinball anymore. But it is by far the best pinball on the planet. It's better than real pinball. It's better than Pinball FX. It's better than Visual Pinball. It's better than Pinball Arcade. It is the absolute best. But only us few people know how good it is because we've spent so much time with it. But once you get into it, you yourself will soon realize just how amazing this thing is, and how easy it is to produce your own incredible pinball creations. That's basically how I started way back in 2009. And I've been doing this almost every single day for the past 15 years. It has become my absolute obsession because I cannot reach a ceiling on this thing. I cannot get to the best what I'll ever be. Every time I get to where I think I can't get any better, I get better. I get better. And it's just ridiculous. It's just there's no ceiling to Future Pinball. We've yet to discover its limit of what it can do. I mean, it's already light years ahead of what real pinball can do. And it just gets better and better and better. So if you want to make pinball games, this is where you start with Future Pinball. You can try Visual Pinball, but it's way more complicated. And the install process is not as easy as Future Pinball. I've tried to install VPX many times, and it just aggravates me, and I give up. So I just have Future Pinball installed on my computer now, and that's all I ever play is Future Pinball. I've even deleted Pinball FX off my PlayStation 5. I got so bored of playing Pinball FX games, I've actually deleted that as well. So Future Pinball is really the only pinball I play now. I don't even play real pinball games anymore. It's that good. Alright, so I might do a quick update to this video later on, but if you want to get started, download that file and start creating. And in later videos, I will give you a little bit of information about how to create these extra bits and pieces, like this saucer here. That saucer is the code here at the bottom here, so you want to know how it's done. It's very simple. Saucer hit, saucer timer. So you hit it and it kicks out the ball. Then you've got mechanical sounds and you've got a game effects sound. So that gives you an idea of how that little thing works there. But I put it right down at the bottom of the script so you can have a look at it yourself. Right, Okay, so I'm going to wrap this up now, and I'm going to go back to AC/DC, and I'll do a commentary video on that because there's so much I need to explain, and I'm having a lot of fun with that. But that's the level you can actually get up to. You can actually get up to the level where you can produce AC/DC and Transformers and 24 and make your own games like Gladiator and Total Recall. The sky is the limit. Okay, toodaloo.